Imagine a nation on the brink of transformation, where every sunrise carries the promise of tomorrow. A nation stepping into a golden age, not rooted in nostalgia, but soaring toward bold innovation, unshakable strength, and boundless opportunity. This is not just a speech, it is a vision. On his second inauguration, President Trump proclaimed it. The golden age of America begins right now. A future built on sovereignty, prosperity, and unity. A future forged for patriots, not globalists. Today, we journey into that vision, unveiling how Trump sees America rising. The first pillar of this vision is artificial intelligence dominance. In July 2025, the White House launched a sweeping AI action plan designed to propel the United States into the global lead. It calls for removing regulatory hurdles, investing heavily in infrastructure, and unleashing private sector innovation. The mantra is simple: win the AI race. Tech leaders from companies like Nvidia and Chevron hailed the move as a bold path to American global leadership. At the same time, First Lady Melania Trump underscored education, championing a presidential AI challenge to prepare students for an AI era, describing it as a moment of wonder, a metaphor for nurturing AI like raising children. Yet tension simmers within Trump's own base. Some conservatives worry that courting big tech could risk jobs, liberties, and moral integrity. But the administration remains firm. AI, they say, is America's path forward. In Trump's vision, the future is powered by American-built AI that is secure, productive, and dominant. Trump's ambitions don't stop there. He has introduced Freedom Cities, a bold vision of 10 brand-new master-planned cities to be built on federal land. Imagine modern marvels, industrial hubs, revitalized manufacturing centers, affordable housing, and new opportunities for working-class families. Trump likens this to the Transcontinental Railroad, only bigger. With development rights awarded through national contests, these cities promise deregulated innovation and a quantum leap in living standards. They envision futuristic vertical lift transport systems and even incentives to spark a new American baby boom. To Trump, Freedom Cities aren't just infrastructure projects. They are a cultural reset, a revival of America's frontier spirit. Critics warn of environmental risks, but supporters see them as a clean slate for American industry and opportunity. Energy independence lies at the heart of Trump's plans. His America First Priorities blueprint calls for deregulation, streamlined permitting, and a rollback of what he calls climate extremism, all to unleash fossil fuel production. He even withdrew from the Paris Climate Agreement, signaling that America will pursue its own path. On the first day of his second term, Trump declared a national energy emergency, clearing the way for oil, gas, and mining projects. The aim is clear: restore energy dominance, lower consumer costs, and re-industrialize the nation. In parallel, Trump's Golden Dome missile defense plan seeks to shield the country with space-based interceptors, reminiscent of Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative, but more ambitious. Energy and defense are two sides of the same coin, safeguarding America's future on its own terms. Trump's vision also emphasizes sovereignty through border enforcement and cultural reaffirmation. On his inauguration day, he announced that illegal entry into the United States would be halted, declaring a national emergency at the southern border. Symbolism has been a powerful tool in this administration, illustrated by rebranding the Department of Defense as the Department of War, with Pete Hegseth appointed as Minister of War to project strength. This aligns with broader cultural actions, from rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion programs to reaffirming traditional gender norms and American heritage. For Trump, this isn't just policy, it's an ideological framework. He speaks of manifest destiny, moral clarity, and national pride, presenting a bold, if polarizing, identity vision for the country. Faith plays a central role in this vision. Trump has launched an initiative called America Prays, encouraging citizens to gather weekly in prayer. A White House faith office now guides students and communities, symbolizing a renewed spiritual emphasis ahead of the nation's 250th anniversary. Souvenir Bibles sold by the campaign have become both a religious and political symbol. Critics argue this blurs the line between church and state, but supporters view it as a long-overdue reaffirmation of America's spiritual foundation. Together with plans for a great American state fair and patriot games, Trump envisions a national revival of faith and patriotism as the United States approaches its semi-quincentennial celebration. On the global stage, Trump is doubling down on America First isolationism. He has pulled out of multilateral agreements like the Paris Accord and the World Health Organization, while slashing foreign aid by 90%. These moves redirect resources inward, signaling to the world that America will prioritize its own interests. Trump has also hinted at re-evaluating NATO commitments, suggesting the United States will no longer be beholden to international institutions that undermine sovereignty. Yet this isolation is not absolute. Trump is willing to engage selectively, as seen in trade negotiations with India, which he approaches with cautious optimism. His message is clear. America is strong enough to stand alone, but savvy enough to negotiate from a position of power. Taken together, these initiatives form a tapestry of Trump's vision: artificial intelligence dominance, frontier reinvention through freedom cities, energy sovereignty, fortified borders, military might, spiritual renewal, and patriotic identity. This is all aimed at forging what he calls a golden age of America, a future defined by courage, clarity, and ambition. As Trump declared, "We return confident and optimistic that a tide of change is sweeping the country, and sunlight is pouring over the entire world." In this vision, the question isn't whether America will change, but how. Will it rise or retreat? Trump's answer is clear: rise. The future, he insists, belongs to visionaries, not to those who bend or cower. America's story marches forward, and the choice lies in whether its people will step boldly into that dawn. But Trump's America is not only a vision of borders, energy, and technology. It is a narrative of reclaiming the nation's identity. He has framed his second term as a reset, a chance to undo what he calls years of globalist neglect. In his speeches, Trump often evokes imagery of the American dream slipping away, with jobs outsourced, communities hollowed out, and traditions eroded. For him, this is not just politics, it's a mission. His words strike a chord with millions of Americans who feel forgotten. In their eyes, Trump isn't merely a president. He's a symbol of rebellion against a system that no longer represents them. By painting a picture of decline and then offering a roadmap of revival, Trump has turned policy discussions into a movement that resonates far beyond Washington. One of the cornerstones of this vision is the economy. Trump believes that economic revival is the foundation upon which all other achievements rest. He has promised massive tax cuts for the middle class, deregulation for small businesses, and incentives to bring manufacturing back to American soil. Factories, once shuttered in Rust Belt states, are being courted with subsidies and tax credits. He calls this the Back to America plan, designed to make the United States not just a hub of innovation, but a manufacturing powerhouse once more. The administration argues that energy independence, combined with AI leadership, will create an unstoppable engine of growth. Critics warn that deregulation may lead to environmental harm or corporate abuses, but Trump's supporters see it differently. They believe this approach is necessary to create jobs, increase wages, and re-establish America's dominance in global trade. Trade, too, is central to Trump's narrative. He has made it clear that the era of one-sided trade deals is over. His negotiation style, often brash and unapologetic, is intended to put America first. While he has withdrawn from some trade agreements he saw as unfair, he has simultaneously sought bilateral deals that favor American workers. India, for example, has become a key trade partner, with talks underway to lower tariffs and encourage investment. Trump's stance is straightforward. America will no longer sacrifice its workers for the sake of global cooperation. Instead, it will forge alliances that respect American interests. Supporters hail this as a much-needed correction, while critics fear it could lead to isolationism. But to Trump, standing alone is not a sign of weakness, it's proof of strength. Trump's strategy for the future is also deeply intertwined with culture. His speeches often emphasize family, tradition, and values, appealing to voters who feel alienated by rapid cultural change. Programs like America Prays and the promotion of faith-based initiatives reflect his belief that spiritual renewal is as important as economic revival. In a time when cultural divisions run deep, Trump positions himself as a guardian of what he calls American greatness. His critics argue that this emphasis on traditionalism alienates minorities and progressive groups, but his supporters see it as an essential defense of the nation's identity. Trump's America is not just a geographic place, it's a cultural ideal rooted in history, faith, and patriotism. Education is another battleground. The administration has launched campaigns to restore American education, focusing on patriotism and national pride. Schools are encouraged to teach history in a way that celebrates American achievements, while parents are given more control over curricula. Trump's supporters view this as a way to counteract what they see as years of ideological indoctrination in schools. His detractors claim it undermines critical thinking and diversity. Regardless of where one stands, education policy under Trump is a reflection of his larger vision. A future where American students grow up with pride in their heritage and confidence in their role as global leaders. In the realm of technology, Trump's emphasis on AI dominance is part of a broader push for innovation. Investments in robotics, advanced manufacturing, and quantum computing are being prioritized. The administration believes this technological revolution will not only create millions of high-paying jobs, but also secure America's position as the global leader in innovation. Critics raise concerns about automation and job displacement, but Trump argues that innovation is inevitable, and America must lead rather than follow. To him, these industries are not just economic opportunities, they're strategic assets. In a world where technology shapes power, Trump's vision is clear. America must remain the undisputed leader. Beyond domestic issues, Trump's foreign policy is designed to project strength. His rebranding of the Department of Defense as the Department of War signals a return to a blunt, unapologetic approach to security. He wants adversaries to think twice before challenging the United States, whether through cyber attacks, military threats, or economic competition. The Golden Dome missile defense plan is a central piece of this strategy, aimed at creating an impenetrable shield against nuclear threats. Supporters see this as a bold step toward true national security, while critics call it an expensive fantasy. But Trump supporters argue that in an era of global instability, boldness is a necessity. This philosophy extends to international alliances. Trump's willingness to question NATO's structure has rattled traditional allies, but he argues that America should not bear a disproportionate burden for global security. His approach has forced allies to reconsider their defense contributions, a move that he believes strengthens the US position. Meanwhile, his administration's tough stance on China reflects his long-held belief that America must confront its biggest economic rival head-on. By imposing tariffs, investing in domestic manufacturing, and curbing Chinese influence in tech, Trump is attempting to reshape the global order in America's favor. His detractors accuse him of fueling tensions, but his supporters see him as the first leader in